I think the Packers are the Steelers of the NFC. Just good enough to get by, but nothing special. At most, probably a wild card knockout. We're kind of living off this high of Jordan Love beating the beating the Cowboys a year ago. And since it's kind of just been meh, it's kind of been average. Keep in mind, the Packers last year beat up on bottom feeding teams and won 2 of 7 games against playoff teams. One of them against a depleted Rams offense that had injuries all over the place. So the Packers are caught at this really weird point now where they either take this big step forward with this, I would call a progressive rebuild that they've been trying to do. They drafted Jordan Love under the tutelage of Rodgers and kind of worked him into the offense without tanking and completely being straight ass, pretty much, or they decline. So it's one of the two. They either make the playoffs and make a statement and win this year, I think, or they just miss it. And I'm kind of projecting a miss. Now, again, I have a lot of good things to say about this roster. Honestly, defense is a solid unit. Top 12, top 10 in the league again this season. They have that potential for sure. They were 5th in points per game allowed in 2024, 6th in turnovers in 2024, 7th in rush yards allowed per game in 2024, 8th in pass yards allowed per game in 2024. Really, the defense is top 10 all around. Well-rounded, clean operation. I can't really say anything negative, to be honest with you. They lost Jair Alexander, but he's been injured with his time in Green Bay. I'm sure they've worked out a plan to operate without him this year. They'll be fine on the field, right? Defense is really good. The offense really is what just screams mediocrity to me. Bleh. I don't know. I'm just not excited about it, right? Josh Jacobs is still excellent. 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns last season. That's pretty incredible. He'll be 27 this season. Still should have a few good years under his belt. Keep in mind, running back primes usually between age 22 and 26. Jacobs is just starting to get up there. Probably fine for the next few years. I'm not here to hate on him because of his age or anything. I'm just saying to keep that in mind because that typically is your running back prime. Might extend to 27, 28. Receiver room is really all over the place in Green Bay. Despite really having everything sorted out, the Packers have tried and failed to draft a wide receiver 1 since 2021. And it's been one of the most comical things I've seen. 2023, they drafted Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks. 2022, they drafted Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs. 2021, Amari Rodgers. They finally spent a first-round pick on Matthew Golden. Somebody has to pan out this year. If not, it's got to be one of the most embarrassing attempts to find a true number 1 option for a quarterback that I've ever seen. And then again, this is similar to the Kyler Murray situation in Arizona, although I would probably take Jordan Love. And again, I don't hate the contract with Jordan Love. A lot of people thought, it was way out there. Considering the quarterback market and the evident talent that Jordan Love possesses, the $55 million was warranted, I think, at that point in time. But again, with that being said, I watch Jordan Love play and the amount of times he puts the ball in harm's way, right? The turnovers have and will continue to cost Jordan Love and the Packers. This offense only goes as far as Jordan Love goes. If he turns over the ball in big-time moments, like that rain game against the Lions last year, it's a wrap. The Packers can't go anywhere. He ended the year really strong, but he threw 3 interceptions in the playoff game against Philly. So, again, there's not a lot of bad I can say about this roster, but I just think that they're good. I don't think that they're necessarily wowing me as a playoff team this year. There's a few other teams that I think have easier schedules, like the Niners, who will capitalize on that and probably bump the Packers out of the playoff picture come January. I just don't see it. And then you look at the rest of their schedule after week 10, Philadelphia week 10, Giants week 11, that's fine. Week 12, Vikes. Week 13, Lions. Week 14, Bears. Week 15, Denver. Week 16, Bears. Week 17, Baltimore. Week 18, Vikes. That's a tough end to your schedule. And earlier on, it's probably just average from weeks 1 to 10. So, again, I'm just not super interested in what this team has to offer this year. I think the defense, again, good. They'll be good again. But if Jordan Love takes a massive step forward this year, the Packers will be really good. But I just don't see that this season. I don't think they have established a true number one receiver yet. And with Jordan Love turning over the ball like he has in previous seasons, I just don't know if I can trust this team. Until I see Jordan Love take care of the ball just a little more often, and until I see the Packers win against better competition and not make up the points in garbage time like they did for the majority of last year. Houston was the only legitimate game that they won where I was like, okay, they look good. Again, the Rams, that was a joke of a game. They were hurt. And then the rest of the 5 games, like, the teams were obviously better than them, that were ahead of them. Vikes, Detroit, whoever else they played. So, again, this isn't me hating on the Packers or probably, honestly, me hating on the Bengals. I'm not going to lie to you, but I think that there's a lot left to be desired with the Bengals and the Packers heading into the season, and there's a few teams like the Bears in that division that are slowly rising with a new head coach, with a revamped O-line, with weapons galore, that I'm like, well, maybe the Bears steal a game from the Packers, steal 2 games from the Packers, and they fall to 9-8 or 8-9. The Lions are still there. The Vikings, I think, are going to be exceptional and win the division. Like, there's a lot of external factors there that might play into how this Packers season goes.